Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to first Beirut MikroTik Mom ever. Hope you enjoyed up to now. My name is Mani, not that kind of money, this kind of money. Uh, I'm a CTO and co-founder of MITSCO. MITSCO is MikroTik sales partner and training partner of the MikroTik. We are based in Turkey, Istanbul. And being in IT technology, I'm being in IT technology business roughly around 14 years. Support, instruct engineers in MikroTik platform for something around 8 years. And my expertise are all about the wireless, routing, QoS, and firewall. And also the Dude, which I want to demonstrate, Dude server in here. This presentation has two parts. First, we want to talk about the Dude server, which is the MikroTik free monitoring server. And then at the end, I want to talk about our new product called Icms, which is the interactive GSM email notification system. You can get on through all of these. These are my everything, all about my career. You can check out my resume or links in MikroTik website, and you can check out all information about me by these links. These are my training sessions, because I'm MikroTik certified trainer as well. These are my training sessions all over the world. Also, I can see some of my friends, some of my students around. Actually all over, mostly in Africa. Most of our training sessions are in Africa and East Asia, somewhere like Philippines, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and so on. I wish to have a training session as well here in Beirut, but actually there was no interest. I don't know, maybe because of advertisement, or maybe there is no interest as well. But yeah, regularly we try to have training sessions in Beirut from now on, every 3-4 months. You can check out our training schedules by these links. We have uploaded the Beirut before, but we mostly inform everybody at least 2-3 months before, because you need to manage your time. Maybe you want to travel somewhere else. So you can find out the schedule as well. This is the table of contents about both topics, Dude server and Icms. About the Dude, first I demonstrate about the Dude, what is Dude actually, and then what it does, how it works, how you should work with. It means how you can configure it. It's too much simple actually. It has auto discovery feature. It's not very weird application, but if you have a special knowledge about software engineering, you can add scripting, you can do whatever you like. Monitoring system, notification system, and then at the end will be the Icms, interactive GSM email notification system. What is Dude? Basically, Dude is MikroTik free monitoring server or monitoring application. The new version has two parts. Here, I just want to talk about Dude version 6, because there was version 3 and 4. We will talk about the legacy versions as well, but here, I just want to demonstrate version 6, which is the new version of the Dude and much more powerful to compare with the old one. It has two parts: client application, which you need to set it up on a Windows, Mac, or Linux operating system. It works in all platforms, mostly all platforms. And it has the server package. The server package should be somewhere on the router, should be on router OS operating system, router OS devices, not only the router board, also you can set it up on x86. But you only have 3 platforms up to now that can handle the Dude package. You will use this package as the agent later on, but the client is actually the monitoring application. So you can set up the package up to now on 3 platforms: CCR routers, cloud core routers, x86 platform, and the CHR platform, cloud hosted router. My colleague talked about the CHR in the first presentation. Router OS version should be 6.34 or higher to be able to use DUD. It means you need to upgrade your router to something upper than this version, then you'll be able to use DUD on your router. What it does, by default, from the scratch, basically it scans the network, means discovery. It can discover your network automatically. Layer 2 discovery, it can find all devices. All devices, especially in the same subnet, especially in the same layer 2 network, it can discover it. Monitors availability of your network, keeps watching all your layer 3 devices. Because it's based on IP, I'm talking about layer 3 in here. So it monitors your IP addresses. Monitors all your links as well, separate of devices. Also, you can monitor your links. You can have a real-time graph of your links. Support SNMP. Nowadays, most of the professional network devices have the SNMP support. So with SNMP, basically you can monitor everything else than MikroTik. This is not only for MikroTik, you can monitor everything. Cisco, Juniper, all other devices, not only with SNMP, even with the public eye. So, assume that there is a printer here, or mobile phone, smartphone, whatever. You still can monitor it with the IP address. Has direct access to your router OS with Winbox. It means inside the DUD, you even can configure your MikroTik router. You don't need to open a separated Winbox. It means Winbox already embedded in the OS, in the application, and you still can use it directly. Here, we are talking about the DUD version 6, as I said before, which has some fundamental differences with legacy versions. So, it's better to use version 6, or if you want to use version 3, everything should be on version 3. After successful installation, login page comes up. This is the login page, which you need to log in to the server as well. In old version, because the server version was also available in the application, so you could have the local server as well. But right now, you need to connect to a DUD package, which is the DUD server as well, on CCR router, CHR platform, or x86. After successful login, automatic discovery feature will jump up. It means automatic, after login, based on the IP address which you have on that server, it's going to scan the whole network in the same subnet and automatically brings up the devices. You may like to discover your network automatically or add everything manually. Depends on your network. Maybe you have lots of devices and automatic discovery may bring you some difficulties, but also you can add everything manually. If you want to add some special configuration, you can add them manually. You still can add them all automatically and add the configurations later on manually. If you're still working with legacy versions, version 3 and version 4, with these commands, actually with the first command, you still can import your database to the new version. So before upgrading your legacy versions, first you need to take a backup of your database because it has a database. Then you still be able to import that legacy backup in new version because it's all about the database. It doesn't care about the version differences. Or maybe you'd like to change the path of the database. By default, there is a path for that database. Also, with this command, you can change the path of database. You may want to move it to your external hard disk. You may want to use it somewhere else, even remote site. But this is the command which you can change the database directory. With this procedure, first you need to disable your server because when your server is enabled, the database is already in use. So first you need to disable, move existing directory, change the path of directory, and then enable the server again. So with this procedure, you still can upgrade your DUD version. This is the main interface of the DUD. It has two sides. It has two categories. This is the diagram. We call it map pane. And this is the log pane. You can see all the logs. These are not only the dude logs, but also it has very powerful syslog server. You can redirect all of your devices logs, centralized would be in here, and you can manage them, you can read them all together. And the main menu, which has all the configurations. This is the main menu. These are all options in the main menu. For example, you can add your networks in here. In the map, separately, you can add whatever you like. Links, devices, automatically, manually, everything. But they are coming to the separated tables in here. Like networks, like links, history actions, whatever. This is the list of all options in the menu. I don't want to talk about them all, but just as an example. For example, network map. You have a map, but not only one map. You can have different maps, different platforms, different diagrams, everything. So you even want to have more than one diagram, one maps, and this is the real-time diagram. You can check out the traffic, you can check out the availability of devices, and so on. History actions, for example, history of tasks performed by the admin, like adding or removing devices. So you still can track the activity of your server. Assume that one of your technicians has changed something, but you want to find it out what it was. So you still can check out the history. Device list, as soon as you add your devices in the map, they all listed in here, in the device list. Network table shows all the networks. Notifications, we will talk about the notification system because this application is all about the notification. So you need to configure the notification as well. And so on. At the top of the page, at the top of the main page, you can configure everything about the server. Server settings, all server settings. In a preferences, you can do something, for example, status bar, if you like. These are some basic configurations. Auto reconnect if connection lost. By default, it's be able to automatically reconnect to the server if there would be any network issues. Auto connect and startup is about coming up automatically. As soon as you restart your operating system, Linux, Windows, whatever, it comes up automatically. In the SNMP table, you can configure all of your SNMP devices. By default, you don't need SNMP because in layer 3, you can monitor whatever you like based on the IP. But sometimes when you need to have special monitoring, you need to use SNMP. I told you, nowadays, most of the professional devices have the SNMP support. When you want to add your device, three configuration is very important. The IP address of your device, username, and the password. But when you have auto discovery, because it doesn't have a password, it just shows the IP addresses, devices with the IP address, then later on you need to add the username and password of your device. Basically, just for the monitoring, you don't need to put the user pass in here, but if you want to configure your device directly from the dude server, you can add the username password, and also you can have some extra features. Probe are those services which you want to monitor. For example, for the single server, for the single IP, you can monitor the CPU usage, you can monitor the IP activity, you can monitor the FTP, POP3, anything, basically anything you imagine. These are the services which you can monitor. So adding devices is just few steps. First, IP address, username, password, and then those services which you want to monitor as the probe. And then also it gives you the connectivity graph, how long it was available, how percentage. Parents also is very important. We have two concepts in here. One of them is parent, the other one is agent. Parent makes a dependency. Assume that from here, remotely you want to monitor a network, but one of the routers has a public IP. So through that device, through their edge network, edge router, you want to monitor everything behind. So there is a dependency. When your edge is gone, all the devices behind that edge will gone. So you will receive a notification for all of those devices, but you still can make a dependency. As soon as the edge router goes down, you don't need to receive a notification for all other devices behind that edge. It's useless. It's obvious that when the first one is down, all others behind are down. So you can make a dependency between them. This is your map. This is your diagram, real-time diagram. And options in here, those options are the same, could be the same as the MikroTik options. For example, add is red cross, or whatever setting, discover. You can enable or disable the automatic discovery here if you don't like, because continuously it discovers. Assume that you have your Dude server for more than a month, but just now new devices have added to your network. It's going to discover it automatically in here. But if you don't like to have automatic discovery, you need to disable it from here. Then you have a manual control everywhere. Polling, this tab allows you to configure polling times and timeouts especially for this map. So this is all about this map. For the other map, you need to set a probes and polling in another table, in a specific table for that map. You can change the timeout period for how long you can consider it as down. For example, if it doesn't ping for more than 30 seconds, then you can consider it as down. But less than 30 seconds, because you know there may be some problems in your network, you shouldn't consider it as down server. You also can monitor and have a graph of devices, real-time traffic. This is the real-time traffic. It shows the real-time. Also, you can extract, you can export these graphs, and you can use them later on. But this is real-time traffic monitoring. Links, you see, between devices, there is a link. This link could be Ethernet, could be fiber, could be wireless, could be anything. By default, it has some links. For example, it has wireless, Ethernet, fiber, whatever. But maybe you have some special link. Then you can add your link in here. I don't know, for example, LTE, any other. By checking out link history, you can find out graphs, but this is not real time. This is the graph history. This is the real-time graph. By pointing your mouse cursor in here, you can have the real-time graph, but this one is graph history. You can check out the history of the graphs. There are some links by default, as I said, but you can add your own. Agent, in such a topology, you may need to use agents. For example, this is your Dude server, maybe in a remote site. This is your Dude agent. So as I said, when you want to access something behind the edge router, your edge router is the agent, same as a parent. You need to configure it as a parent just for the notification. You need to configure it as the agent to receive Dude traffic. So when you set it as the agent, it means there are some devices behind that, something like a NAT, because you don't have direct access to those devices behind. So something like a Dude NAT, it gives you the access to devices behind. But you need the Dude server, Dude package as a server in that router. This router could, up to now, could be CCR router, could be CHR platform, or could be finally x86. Up to now, maybe they're going to deploy it for other platforms like Tile, like PPC, or whatever. Notification system, it has 5 types of notification by default. It can send you an email. It can beep for you. It can flash something as the alarm or emergency alarm. For example, as soon as you've got the attacks, also it can make a noise, it can make a sound, it can flash some lights, but it needs extra configuration. Also, it can log whatever you like in the syslog. Also, it can pops up something, a message which you like. You also can add new notifications. More types are available. These are not configured by default, but you can add them. For example, email notification. You can get notified by emails based on anything. Server down, server up, link down, link up, whatever. But in all of these notifications, something is missing. GSM notification. Nowadays, everybody has the mobile phone, everybody has the SIM card. Maybe you want to get notified by messages, by short text messages. By default, Dude cannot handle it. It doesn't send you the GSM notification, means short text messages. But now it's time to talk about our new devices because it has different types, called Agentic. Tik, because it's based on MikroTik. We have to use Tik in here because it's based on MikroTik. iGen means interactive GSM email notification system. But it's not only notification system, also you can configure your device system like Dude. Agentic is based on MikroTik platform with customizable GUI interface to notify anything you imagine. We have two operating systems in Agentic. One of them is MikroTik because we need to use MikroTik facilities. And also we have the Linux because we need the Linux for programming, for developing, for PHP, for Java, and whatever. Also for the web interface because it has separated web interface. Agentic will be the first of its kind on a Linux system. So the main part of the application is on MikroTik. The web interface and some scripts are in the Linux side. Flexible and robust monitoring notification system. Agentic will be available in two formats. We have two types of Agentic. One of them is IMS, means interactive monitoring system. This could be only software. It means you don't need to get our device. You don't need to get a router. You have a server, you have virtualized server, you have your platform, then you just get the software and set it up. You don't need to use extra device. But Icms, which is the control and monitoring system, because it needs to control your network, then you need our hardware. Then you need to use our own device. Default or standard features are these. Monitors your network 24/7, 365 days. It means all the times. It has a built-in battery to save the power. Maybe your data center has a power problem, everything goes down, but Agentic is still up. It can notify you about the server down, server up, get messages. But if you're using the Icms, it means you can send a command to it. For example, you're in somewhere else, you're in a big party, but you have a problem in your network. You need to do something as fast as you can. You can send a command to Agentic. For example, just an example, these are all customizable. You can customize it by yourself. For example, by sending number 5, I want to turn off edge CCR router. Or by sending number 10, you want to know how much was the Facebook traffic of somebody. Whatever you like, it's all customizable. This application is fully free up to 100 sensors. It means if you don't need to have more than 100 sensors, you still can use it for free. You can get this application and set it up. What is the meaning of a sensor? Anything which you want to monitor or get notification for is a sensor. For example, the ping of this server is the first sensor, but SNMP, which you want to use for the same server, is another sensor. Ping to another server is the third sensor. anything, any separated notification, we assume that as a sensor. Same as a PRTG, because we are using the same protocol as PRTG, it's based on the sensors. But less than 100 sensors, it's free. It means for small, medium companies, small, medium-sized companies, you still can use it for free. If you don't have lots of servers, if you don't have lots of services, you still can use it for free. This is the main interface of Agentic. Actually, we try to make it as easiest as possible. We have only one interface. You can add all of your devices in here. These color changes give you different notification. For example, green means fully okay, everything is up. Red means everything is down. What does my mean about everything? Means, for example, for a specific server, you may have 50 sensors. If it's green, means all of those 50 sensors are up and running. But if you get red, it means all of the sensors are down. All of them are down. And orange means some of the sensors are down, not all of them. For example, in the middle of 50 sensors, 10 of them are down at the moment, so it gets orange. And blue talks about the dependencies. Same as the dude, which you want to monitor something behind, then you need to add it as the parent, same like here. It means the blue means this device has a dependency to something else. Then you can configure the dependencies. And by clicking anything, you see basically you can add your devices in here. By default, we have added routers, switches, access point, and something else, but maybe you want to monitor your smartphones, you want to monitor your printers, anything you want. Then you need to add your devices. It shows all the interfaces, everything, all the information of that device here in hierarchical diagram. By clicking on any of these, you can see the graph, availability graph, for the real-time traffic as well. These are the features of Icms. I don't want to waste your time to talk about all of these here, because in our exhibition desk you still can take them all. But I want to remind you some of these features. For example, it can give you the IP status of all layer 3 devices, including servers, routers, blah, blah, blah. Public or private host reachability and availability. Public or private, it means you can monitor some local devices or also some remote devices with a public IP. You can monitor whatever you like. And also it supports SNMP, it supports API, anything. These are the different topologies which you may use Agentic. This is all for Icms. It means Icms is something separated of your network, something beside. Simple network configuration would have only one device, could be the router, could be ADSL modem, could be anything. Then you need to connect your Agentic directly to this. So this device, Agentic, is separated from your network and monitors everything separately. A bit more professional networks have double layer of routers. For example, one of them is edge router to deal with outside, to have a public deal. One of them is access router that has the local deal. For example, PPPoE servers, bandwidth management, all of these are in access router. BGP configuration, routing policies, load balancing, everything is in your edge router. So you have different routers. But your Agentic should connect to your access router, to your local devices. Then also it has an access to the public. And mostly for service providers, for internet providers, they have 3 layers of routers: edge, firewall, access. That firewall is both public firewall and private firewall. You may have some scans, IP scans from your local network. You may have some attacks, DNS attack, everything from public. So the firewall should be in between, and for the security, Agentic should connect to your firewall directly. These are the features of ICMS. For ICMS, you need to use our own hardware because of the sensors. For example, with ICMS, you can sense the temperature. You can sense the humidity of your server room. You can sense the voltage of your servers. So you need to use our own hardware because of the sensors, and it has lots of more features. This is the board which basically we are using for ICMS. It has 6 Ethernets, powerful enough for ICMS. These are the boxes, different types. And for ICMS, Agentic should be in the middle of your network. It means traffic should passing through your router, passing through the Agentic, because it needs control. So your traffic should passing through the device. But we have a relay on Agentic, means it can bypass a traffic. Assume that you need to reboot Agentic, but your traffic is still passing through, even if the device is not down. Is down, is not up. So it has the bypass feature. These are the extra modules, Agentic app, whatever you want to use. And remote control, solar controls, and whatever. These features are only for MikroTik. Are only about the MikroTik. It means on MikroTik, you can have these separated features. This is all about the Dude and Agentic. These are the good platforms for any kind of companies, not only for providers. Now, any question if you have? Nothing. No questions. Yeah. Everything, not only MikroTik. Dude works with everything. It can monitor everything, not only MikroTik devices. Dude is not dedicatedly for MikroTik. It has SNMP, but even without SNMP, you can monitor the IP address. For example, when you add devices on Dude, it means you can monitor the availability, reachability of that device. Anything, smartphones, printers, I'm talking about endpoints even. Anything with IP address. Your satellite TV, satellite box, TV, whatever. These are my contact details. The best way to find me is the Skype, because I'm mostly in the class. But Skype, I'm always available in Skype and can support you remotely. Good luck and enjoy your mom.